discovering the ultimate genius. Thank you. Mastermind behind the entire universe. What is the micro world and what is the macro world? I attended this session 22 years back in my auditorium in the medical college, and believe me, my friends, my life totally changed. So today we'll be seeing the session under your observation, the scientist's observation, the $2 million questions, the activity time, and what is our prime duty. The essence is that by observing the world around us scientifically, we see the hand of the supreme intelligent designer. Okay, here we go. By observing the systematic and harmonious universe around us, by observing the systematic and the harmonious universe around us, some questions which come to the mind. What are these questions? Does God really exist? And who creates and maintains this beautiful and harmonious universe? The different answers we'll be seeing today, and it's a very deep session. What is our observation? Behind every artistry, there is an artist. Behind beautiful organization, there is an organizer. Behind every creation, there is a creator. And behind every design, there is a designer. Behind energy, there is an energetic. And behind the flawless laws is the lawmaker. What do we see? First is Leonardo da Vinci, von Georg, Thomas, and Henry. You all know a very important thing that, so all of you have seen in paintings, and in the paintings you know that someone has made the paintings. The paintings did not come by chance. Now what about the reality? This is a real figure. This is a real mountain. This is a real waterfalls, and that is the real rose. Who is the artist? Who is the artist? Even if you want to draw a paper rose, you have to cut the red paper, you have to put in the Fevicol, you have to cut it, paste it, and then you have to spray some perfume. But who has made the real roses? What to speak of the flowers in nature with their delicate and biological complexity, fragrance and shape and forms? Who is the intelligent person who has made behind all this? Behind every artistry, there is an artist. And let us see a small video. Just see the small video for 2 minutes. Sometimes the sound of this video may be a little less, but there are annotations below by which you will be able to understand this video. Look very carefully.
Bees are called social insects because they live and work together as a community. Thousands of female bees, called worker bees, live together in a hive with a queen bee. The queen bee was marked with a red dot so we can see her better. The worker bees are all females, but they almost never lay eggs. Worker bees do almost all the chores in the hive. They gather pollen or nectar, guard the entrance, clean the hive, build the comb, make honey, tend the queen, and feed the larvae. They even fan the hive with their wings to keep it cool on a hot summer day.
So look around in this world very carefully, because right now we are living in a very artificial world where we are stuck to our seats and sitting in front of a laptop, and everything we see is in now the Facebook and the WhatsApp. But there is a deep universe, there are deep things happening. And just see, even to manage a small hive requires so much organization. Let us see an amazing thing. We have seen so many Spider-Man movies. Now forget about the Spider-Man and see how amazing a spider is.
Mathematician spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs. Indeed, if we enlarged a spider to the size of a human being, the length of the web it weaves would be approximately 150 meters, which corresponds to a 50-story skyscraper. Is it possible for a human being to weave a lacework the size of a 50-story skyscraper in only an hour? But a tiny spider accomplishes much more than that. Moreover, the spider-woven web is the sturdiest material in the world. How do spiders weave these webs possessing miraculous features? The spider takes into consideration many factors while weaving a web, hundreds of times larger than its own size. This task demands at least some calculations essential in constructing a building. For the accomplishment of this work, first the spider must draw a project like an architect, for a construction of this size, design, and sturdiness cannot be accomplished without an architectural project. Once the project is drawn, the spider must calculate the lifting capacity of each part of the web like an engineer, otherwise the web cannot remain suspended. In order to design such a web and make such delicate calculations, the spider must be more qualified than a college graduate. Indeed, there is not a university that provides education to the offspring. Following their birth, they begin to produce silk, weave web.
So here you see a spider. We don't see this, that it makes such a huge web with such an intricate design. Who is giving the intelligence? Where is the intelligence coming from? Has he taken some university education in Oxford or Cambridge? Now, what is the power which is running these things? That is a very amazing thing. Beautiful organization requires a beautiful organizer. Likewise, we see beautiful things created by a man. It could be a sleek car, someone manufactured it. It could be a trendy Apple computer, someone assembled it. It could be a Swiss watch, someone designed it. And it can be an architectural marvel, someone erected it. And it could be a huge skyscraper building, someone built it. Or it could be a beautiful sculpture like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and someone carved it. How this is happening? Who is doing all this? Shouldn't this universe have a super intelligent creator too? How many of you believe that a creator must be there behind this universe? Please type C in the chat box and address that to everyone. Address that to everyone if you do believe that a creator must be there. Thank you Anush, Mikti, Aman, thank you Amal, thank you Nandu, Konde. I love the energy in the room. Our birds of a feather flock together. So creator is there behind the creation. Now I will tell you some amazing stuff. This is the size of a sequoia seed. Sequoia seed is one of the smallest seed. Okay, it is almost 1 centimeter in size. Now take this seed and put it in the ground and you will see amazing magic, the greatest magic. And this huge tree, the world's biggest tree, is the sequoia tree. You can see here humans sitting and you can see the size of the tree that has come from that small seed over there. The world's largest tree is the giant sequoia. It's 84 meters high, 275 feet, and 29 meters in diameter in the trunk. And in the next photo, you'll be able to see that a whole truck can pass from within the trunk if it was within a highway. And a comparative figure of the giant sequoia tree shows that it's bigger than a space shuttle. It's bigger than a blue whale, almost equal to the Statue of Liberty, and 10 times bigger than the Brachiosaurus. Now, what is this amazing world? Intel is the processor, but much deeper processor is the brain. The human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world. Dr. Richard Restek, MD, author Brain. Let's see a small video on the brain. Get up. So you just saw the power of the brain. We hardly use 0.001% of the brain. Imagine if you use just 1%. And now we see corona mein kuch to corona. People are thinking that the lockdown is going and a new strain has come. A new strain has come in Maharashtra. So this DNA and the helix is constantly changing, because science in this world answers the how of thing. How does a person die? The science can give the answer. Just like a doctor, I can tell you by diabetes, blood pressure, hypertension, corona, there are 1 million reasons of how a person dies. But why the person dies, the answer is given in Bhagavad Gita. Antakale cha mameva smaranamuktva kalevaram. How does it rain? The answer is given by science. Evaporation, condensation, and rain. But why does it rain? The answer is there in the Bhagavad Gita. So let us see of the different lattice structures which could be in the cubic model. And a small change in the molecular structure of a lattice can change the element totally. And we'll be seeing that a graphite structure is totally different from a diamond structure, just because a little bit of molecular change is there. Meticulous design is there in the micro world. For a satellite to move around the earth, so many things need to be taken care. There is 24 hours monitoring of orientation, spin, velocity, orbital decay, cosmic radiation, heat dissipation, and the Earth satellite distance. So many people are sitting in the NASA space station working 24/7 to put a small satellite. And let us see what is the weight of the Earth. 6 into 10 to the power 21 metric tons, and it is like a small atom in the giant universe, and it is moving at the speed of 106,000 kilometers per hour. Who is controlling all this? A small NASA? Who is controlling? If traffic policeman controls the signal of the traffic, who is controlling the traffic of the universe? Let us see and understand this. Marvelous design is there in nature, and I will show you one more beautiful video. Look at the design of a sunflower, look at the design of the Milky Way, look at the pearls of a lotus, and look at the deep color picture of the X-ray, and you will see an amazing video.
Around 1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21. The sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind, indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe, from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
So here you see that there are so many intricate things in this universe. All are having a particular design, and behind every design there is a designer. Now let us see what about the energy of the sun. How powerful is the sun? So now you're seeing about the sun. Let us go a little more into the details. What is the energy of the sun? My dear friends, you'll be surprised to know that the energy emitted by the sun per second is the amount of energy consumed by the human race throughout the entire history. In 1 second, our sun produces enough energy to meet the current needs of the entire earth for 5 lakh years. Entire earth, the amount of the energy consumed by the human race throughout the entire history. Isn't it amazing? If you are amazed at this fact, please type A in the chat box. A for amazement. Thank you so much. Thank you. If a stone from the window hits your TV, you will ask who supplied energy to the stone. Behind every energy, there is an energetic. And similarly, my dear friends, please understand. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Kurukshetra, Jagannath Puri, these are not false things. Behind sun, there is a sun god. Sun god is orchestrating the sun planet. And the sun planet has that fiery element in it. And from the fiery element, the rays of the sun are coming out, right? So this world is very deep, right? As you go ahead in spirituality, you'll be able to come and understand the depths of life. Then who is supplying energy to the sun? Energy is given by the energetic. Look at the world around you. Even in a college, someone has made the law that every student has to report at 9:30 a.m. and he is called the principal. The laws in US is different from the laws in India. Who made the law? Keep left and keep right. Okay, the traffic rules are different according to the Indian traffic police and the American traffic police. How many overs are there in one day international match? How many players in one team? Everything is decided by the International Cricket Council. Similarly, I really had a tough time remembering this periodic table because I was more fascinated with biology. So I made a short form. Heli, Bebasi, now funny, so magalsu, fasukar, poka. Anyway, I was doing a small joke. Chemical elements arrangement is not a periodic, is a periodic law, and it is not a periodic chance. Nothing in this world happens by chance, my dear friend. You're sitting in your room, there is a laptop or a mobile, there is bed, there is AC, there is a fan and light. Nothing has come by chance. Someone has made it, someone has put his energy in it, and then it has come, right? Similarly, Newton observed that the apple has fallen from top to below. The Newton observed that apple has fallen from top to below and he discovered the law of gravitation. My question is very simple. Were apple flying in the sky before Newton saw? No. So all of you remember that we did some, different things when we were in class 12th or 10th. We did some titration, small cheating and titration experiments when it was not balancing, or we did some optics experiment manipulation with a protractor. Anyway, everything follows a particular law, whether it is a law of optics or whether it is a law of thermodynamics. There is a micro world and there is a macro world. There is a micro world and there is a macro world. And the flawless law has a lawmaker. Now let us see in this world what happens. Some are beautiful, some are ugly, some are handsome, some are not handsome, some are stinking rich, some are poverty stricken. One is a MD doctor and other is a laborer. Who decides? Who decides? We choose certain things in life. What are the things we choose in our life? We choose our education, we choose our job, we choose our husband and wife, we choose a car, we choose an apartment, but there are certain things which we don't choose in our life. We don't choose our parents, we don't choose our facial shape, we don't choose our intelligence. Who chooses? And on what basis? Yeah, I'm getting some answers. So how many of you believe in the laws of karma? Please type K in the chat box. Laws of karma. Karma. If you believe in the laws of karma, please type K in the chat box. Wow. I'm having an interesting audience of 137 participants, and I'm giving you a promise here today. For all the participants who will stick on till the end, I will give you special gems in today's class, right? So let me start with the gift right now. And I'll give you a beautiful quote. The way you do anything, the way you do everything. अगर आपका एटीट्यूड लाइफ में कोई चीज के प्रति वैसा है, वही एटीट्यूड आपका हर चीज के प्रति वैसा ही रहेगा. So let us go more into details. It is already shown that the world of matter, physics, chemistry, and thermodynamics follow the definite, well-defined laws. How can then our birth, beauty, intelligence be random events? So I will be giving you shockers today. I got an All India highest score in CBSE in class 12. And when I was studying my biology books, I was having some doubts which were not answered until I read the Bhagavad Gita. Now this is Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 31st chapter, 1st shloka. Karma deva netrena jantur deho papatye striya pravishta udaram pungshareta kanashraya. And what is the meaning? What is the meaning of this Sanskrit? Under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the results of one's work, the soul is awarded a new body. You cannot fly high like an eagle. You cannot smell better than a dog. You cannot have a stamina like a horse. You cannot eat like an elephant and cannot run fast like a cheetah. Human beings have a specific characteristic that they can ask the beautiful questions of Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? I am trying to be happy in this world, but happiness is slipping out of my hand. Hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab, hum honge kamyab. Ek din. When will the day come? Ho kyun nahi raha hu main kamyab? What is happening? Where is the things getting atkan? Where I am getting stuck? So flawless laws has a lawmaker. By observing the world around scientifically, we can see the hand of supreme intelligent designer in everything. Let us go more into details and see the world from the eyes of the greatest scientists of this world. Let us see the world from the scientist's perspective. By Princeton, the Lord God is subtle but malicious he is not. Similarly, we have the great scientist who gave a beautiful foreword, Nobel laureate, Schrödinger. You have heard about Schrödinger. He went into the details of science and find out that there is a universal thing to this. So, if you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science to believe in God. Similarly, I will tell you a story now. So, I will tell you a beautiful story of Isaac Newton, a real story. Newton was in his lab and he was working with the structure of the solar system. And when he was in the lab, he went in the side and his atheistic friend came in. Atheistic means one who did not believe in God. And he told Newton, who has made this beautiful model? And Newton said, it just came by chance. He told, what are you joking in the morning? Are you in your senses? Who has made this? You have made? Newton said, no, I'm really telling you. I'm really telling you that this is made by someone else, right? So you have to understand one very important thing. That Newton then told his friend, what did he tell? Newton told his friend that, my dear friend, you can't believe that a small thing has come by chance. You believe that I have made it, but how come you believe that in the actual life it has not come by chance? So similarly, Isaac Newton says also about life. And then we have the great scientist Max Born, who goes into the depth of atom and says that there is a supreme design. And Ramanuja says, for an equation for me, it has no meaning until it represents the thought of God. There is a higher power. Heisenberg says this. And you know Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And Michael Faraday also says that there is a God's truth beyond the level of science. So many scientists, they cannot be wrong, and they are also speaking about God. So essence is that by observing the things around us, let us understand the important things, some interesting facts. Have you ever seen a machine in this world which has just come by chance, which has no purpose? No, not possible. Any machine, computer, building, pen, pencil, maker, everything has a designer, everything has a producer. So what about the whole world? What is science speaking? What is about the big brain? Is there some big brain behind the big bluff? Or is there a big bang theory? दोस्तों अब शांत हो जाइए. एकदम शांत हो जाइए और चैट बॉक्स में कुछ मत लिखिएगा, बिकॉज आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट, द बिग बैंग थ्योरी. According to the Big Bang theory, everything began from a point of infinite temperature. Okay भाई, point है infinite temperature and density infinite. चलो भाई ठीक है, but size infinite is small. Okay भाई, physically indescribable. अरे वाह, mathematically unverifiable. Very good. And beyond the conception of space and time. Oh my God, huh? How many of you have ever seen that विस्फोट के बाद, bomb blast के बाद there is creation or destruction, right? Please type C or D. After a blast there is creation or destruction. Please type C or please type D. Okay? So it is inevitable that after a blast there is destruction. Today also in Kashmir there was a blast. Something I got a news, right? Now let us see what is the Big Bang theory. So they said there was a huge ball of fire and there were some volcanic eruptions, and slowly the fiery ocean came and the ocean started cooling, and there was some protoplasmic movement, and the protoplasm formed the pseudopodia, and pseudopodia formed the amoeba, and amoeba started moving and it became a terrestrial. Before it that he became a reptile, and then it started walking in the jungle. And you'll be surprised to know about the second horrible theory, जिसके बारे में गूगल में आजकल इतना सारा रिसर्च पेपर, इंटरनेशनल पब्लिकेशंस हो रहे हैं. दोस्तों, गूगल में आप जाएं और इसको स्टडी करें विथ योर इंटेलिजेंस. डार्विन, व्हाट वाज डार्विन डूइंग? डार्विन दिन में फोटोज खींचता था और रात को अपना टेबल लैंप लगा के बैठता था. एंड ही वुड डू मैच द कॉलम. He will put a cat on one side and a tiger on the other side, and he will try to do some matching. जैसे बिल्ली के नाक में बाल होते हैं और टाइगर के नाक में बाल होते हैं, तो tiger has come from cat. Similarly, man has come from monkey, according to Darwin. According to Darwin, his ancestor was a monkey. Now, my question is very, very simple here. You know, according to the rules of natural selection, Darwin says how blue whale came from a bear. You'll be surprised to know Darwin says that the bear was swimming in the water with the mouth open, and fishes were entering the mouth of the bear, and the more fish was entering, the bigger the mouth, and the bigger the fish and the bigger the mouth, and bear became a blue whale. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Similarly, do you know how the giraffe's neck became longer according to Mr. Darwin? So the giraffe was eating the leaves of the trees, and slowly the leaves of the lower part of the tree vanished. So giraffe looked up, and it looked up, and it looked up, and it went up, and the giraffe's neck became longer. My question is very simple. अरे जिराफ घास क्यों नहीं खा रहा था? और इतने जंगल थे उस टाइम पे. Why he was not taking from the different tree? That means if Dr. Saurabh has to take a particular sweet from a particular shop, I just need to put my hand, come on, and my hand will start growing longer and longer, and my hand will become so longer according to natural selection that I will be a huge hand that I can sit here and eat a burger from the McD restaurant in the United States. So, should I believe in all these man-made things, or should I believe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Bhagavad Gita? Aham sarvasva prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha prakrite kriyamanani gune karmani sarvashah ahankara vimhudatma kartahamiti manyate. There are some things in life which cannot be seen. I was giving a class in IIT Bombay, and one person asked me, "Sir, आपने भगवान देखा है क्या?" So I asked him a simple question. I asked him, "What is the nearest object to your eyes?" He said, "Eyelashes, eyelids." मैंने बोला, "दिखता है क्या?" बोले, "No." मैंने बोला, "What is the farthest object from your eyes?" He said, "Infinity." I told, "दिखता है क्या?" He told, "No." बीच में क्या है? हवा है. दिखता है क्या? But you can feel the air, right? So Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvachamai pashyati. One who sees me in everything and sees everything in me, neither am I lost to him, nor ever he is lost to me. और ये लोग अपना ही थ्योरी बनाते हैं. पहले आया डाल्टन्स मॉडल, फिर आया थॉमसन्स मॉडल, फिर आया रदरफोर्ड मॉडल, फिर आया नील्स बोर मॉडल, फिर आया सोमरफील्ड मॉडल. सोचिए अगर डाल्टन्स मॉडल वाला सोचा कि ये लास्ट मॉडल एटम है. आज मेरा टेलीस्कोप का इतना पावर है कि मेरे को प्लूटो दिख रहा है. आई थिंक प्लूटो इज द लास्ट, एंड टुमारो द टेलीस्कोप पावर विल इंक्रीज, द साइज ऑफ द यूनिवर्स विल इंक्रीज. So we have to know from where to understand the truth. Even Encyclopedia Britannica is telling that it should be emphasized that no theory of origin of the solar system has as yet won general acceptance. All involve highly improbable assumptions. Coming to the next important topic, activity time. Let us see some deep, mysterious things. Activity time, make a comparison between the government of your country and the universal government. Vignesh, I'm loving that smiley which you have sent. Yeah, make a comparison between the government of your country and the universal government. The national government has a home ministry for law, order, health ministry, ministry of energy, finance ministry, defense ministry, and education ministry. What about the universal government? ये अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड नायक, उनका government में क्या होता है? Let us see. So, to keep the people in control, everything has to be in control. Otherwise, we will become animals. If there is only illicit sex, there is no control. If everyone wants to smoke and drink, so there is AIDS, there is cancer, and there is liver problem. In health ministry, there are medicines, and God has given us beautiful herbs and natural diet through which health can be taken care of. Ministry of energy, electricity and lighting, and the huge ministry of power, the sun and the moon are there. In finance ministry, there is currency and wealth and bitcoins, and so many things have come up now. But God's ministry, there is gold, silver, navaratnas and diamonds. In defense ministry, there is protection from danger. And in the universal government, there is ozonosphere, which gives immunity in the body. And in the education ministry, we have so many courses running in the material world, which teaches. Engineering teaches about matter, energy, and interconversion of matter and energy. And medical science teaches about the dead body. Where is the university which preaches about the most important thing? The science of life, the science of soul, the science of happiness, and the science of the ultimate pleasure. Lessons from the universal government. Very good, Yashwant, right? It is the Vedas. So behind every government, there is a prime minister. Behind the universal government, there is God. We have to understand this. Similarly, prime minister maintains and controls the country. Yes, Kushagra will take all the questions later. Prime minister maintains and controls the country. God maintains and controls the whole universe. Government law abiders live happily and lawbreakers are punished. Similarly, according to the laws of karma, those who are doing the sinful act, they are punished. Law abiders live prosperity and law breakers suffer. The unseen is proven by the seen. Can you see this pearl necklace over here? And how many of you believe that some string is holding the pearl necklace? Although the string is not visible, the pearl necklace is held by the string within. So Krishna is telling in the 7th chapter, Krishna is telling in the 7th chapter that Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutram mani gane iva. You have to understand one very important thing. Krishna is telling, O Arjun, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a necklace. So the whole universe is controlled by that Ananta Koti Brahmand Nayak. Essence, by observation, we have to understand the very important thing. And what is that? That we can see the supreme hand of the Supreme Lord behind every design. So what after that? I told you that I am going to give you gifts till the end. So life का एक principle आज आप लोग ले लीजिए and remember this quote. मैं आपको ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ इस quote को. That means it's very, very important. Doing is knowing. Knowing is not doing. Because just by knowing swimming, theoretically, when you are put in water, you will be drowned. So it is very important for us to understand that when you do a particular thing, then you get that knowledge. So what is the prime duty after this session? Just intellectual titillation, that is not required. Use our intelligence to appreciate the creation of God, to unfold the mysteries of God, creation through science to glorify God, to understand and explain the purpose of Lord's creation, which is to love God and love God all, and to utilize everything for the pleasure of the Lord. So coming to the last slide of today's session, rapid revision. Please listen very, very carefully. What do we observe in this universe? Behind every artistry, there is an artist. Behind every organization, there is an organizer. Behind every creation, there is a creator. Behind every design, there is a designer. Behind the energy is the energetic, and behind the laws is the lawmaker. The scientific observation is very important. And the $2 million questions are, who created the universe? Why was it created? And what is the purpose? What is the difference between the national government and the universal government? And what is the prime duty of the scientists? So I thank the course designer, Mr. Radheshyam Das, whom all of you heard, along with Dr. Vivek Bindra, who has designed this whole course, Discover Yourself, and his team. And this is from the Vedic oasis of inspiration, culture, and education, in which we teach how to live a happy and a healthy life in harmony with nature, God, and the supreme sanction, without whom even a blade of grass doesn't move. So I thank